everyone, and welcome to Aspen. For today's practice, we'll be working with front body opening, uplifting poses, and then also some working with grounding within fun balancing transitions. So think quad opening, heart opening, those kinds of great balance poses that are creative in their transition element. So let's start just an easy seated position. I do have a block if you'd like to have one for your practice. Not totally necessary, but it is nice to sometimes bring the ground up when you need it. Let's start with a few rounds of just, we'll call it 3-part breaths. So take your left hand on your heart, right hand is on your belly. And first, initially, just start to breathe naturally. We're just starting to come into our bodies, make our way more mentally, in fact, of course, physically on our mats. So just breathe here a couple of rounds, just natural breaths. We'll do one more inhale and exhale. And then inhale, exhale completely. Great. Now inhale into your belly for 1. For 2, let it rise up into the upper torso, expand the chest, upper back body. And 3 is a big exhale, nice and long. You can open your mouth here. We'll repeat that, inhaling to the belly, fill the midsection. Inhale, let it rise up to the upper chest area. Exhale for 3, let it all out. And we'll just do one more round. Inhale to the right hand. Let it rise up, fill, and exhale completely. Good. Relax the arms along the side of the body. You can circle the wrists if you want. Maybe circle the shoulder. Just kind of add some movement into the shoulders and the arms area. Good. And again, part of our front body opening is working with opening our shoulders as well. So we'll ease into that at that part of the body. Come onto your hands and knees into your tabletop and start by lifting your chest, melt the belly, tailbone rises in your cow. Exhale, round into your back for cat. And we'll just move like this, move along with your breath. Inhale for cow, open your chest, exhale in and round, puff up the upper back, round in here. And then one more time, inhale, lift, and exhale. Lift and round up. Good. Now come back just to that neutral spine. Sit back briefly into a brief child's pose, but reach forward a lot. So make sure you have enough space to reach forward. Take a breath, lengthen through the fingertips all the way back to your tailbone. Exhale and then soften. Soften the chest, let the shoulders feel like they're stretching nicely. And then inhale, rise up. You can come up through your cat, so round through your back. And land in knee plank. Strong core engagement. Navel goes up towards the spine. Press the mat away. Take a breath. Exhale, press back into a brief child's pose. Exhale. Round up and through your knee plank. And then bend your elbows straight back. So just a little mini chaturanga push-up. Exhale, child's pose. Come forward. I'm rounding here again, kind of like a wave, coming through to knee plank. Bend the elbows straight back. Press back up. One more time, sit back towards the heels. Come up through knee plank. Now this time when you bend your elbows, come all the way to the belly. Okay, walk your hands wider than your mat and a little up further than your shoulders. Raise your elbows up, roll up. We'll call this a modified cobra. So we're really lifting, feeling a stretch all the way down into the belly. Exhale and lower. Walk the hands back about 1 inch or so. Repeat, inhale, flowing up for our cobra. And exhale, lower. Good. And now this time, we'll just walk our hands back about 1 inch again. Lift up, pause, look over your right shoulder and dip your left. This is an awesome shoulder opener. Come up, look to your left, right shoulder. Look left, good. Come on up and release down. Good. Curl your toes, press up into a high plank. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, navel rises up towards the spine, so you feel that lift rather than a sag. Take another breath, press that mat away strongly. And then lift the hips up and back, down dog. So as you arrive in your down dog, go ahead and pedal the heels, sway the hips, kind of stretch to what feels good. So in our yoga practice, we always let our practice be our guide, our teacher, and we listen to what our bodies need. So please do that here in this little practice here as well. So from here, down dog, lift your right leg up and back. 3 dog, bend your right knee, lift your whole right side body up. You can look under your right arm, and then if your left shoulder is sagging down, lift it up. Let your shoulders feel more in line with each other. And straighten the leg, step your right foot up between the hands. Lower the left knee, reach the arms up for our knee lunge or Anjaneyasana. Take a few breaths here and just let your pelvis feel more stretchy, let it sink. You'll stretch into your left hip flexor. Take another breath. Good. Bring your palms together above the head and bend the elbows right behind the head. Lean back into the heels of the hands. Lift the chest up. The lift comes from the chest. Navel still is drawing back towards your spine. Your frontal hip bones are actually tipping up as well. That helps to protect your low back. One more breath. Inhale. Can you lift your elbows up and then release? Hands frame your front leg and straighten into that front leg. Call this a runner's stretch. So shift the right hip back a bit. Inhale, lift your chest and lean forward. Use your sternum. Feel like you're lengthening through your spine as you fold in. Take another breath. Inhale and exhale, relax more into fold. And notice how I say relax more into fold rather than press harder. Okay. Then bend back into that knee. We'll take that forearm onto that front thigh. Swivel the left shin off behind you a bit so you're turned more at an angle. Left arm reaches up and over, so a little mini side angle. Good. Take your left arm, wrap it behind the back for a half bound side angle. Draw the left shoulder back to open. Take a breath. Have a little bit of resistance in that forearm to the inside of that knee, just to open an exterior rotation of that front knee. And then release. You can turn yourself and walk your hands inside of your front foot. This is lizard pose. Curl the back toes, lift the knee, step back to a plank. From here, lower down onto your forearms, coming into a forearm plank. So my arms are in the shape of a number 11, elbows below the shoulders, shift forward and back for a total of 10. So we're 4, 5, 6. So navel up towards the back of the spine, core is engaged. Last 1 or 2. Now lower the pelvis down, uncurl the toes, lift your chest up into a sphinx. So feel as if you're stretching and opening the shoulders. Draw the shoulder heads back. You're telescoping your spine and feeling that lengthen here as well. And then lower down. Okay, take your hands right next to the sides of the ribcage. We'll lift for cobra. We'll keep the tops of the feet on your mat. Lifting the chest. Use your back body here. Exhale and lower. Curl your toes. Press up, high plank. Back to your downward facing dog. You can walk your feet in a little bit so we have some good distance between the hands and the feet, but we're not towards the plank and we're not towards a forward fold. So there should be sort of an equality of where your hips are. You can bend the knees slightly, lift your hips up and back, and then lift your left leg up. 3-legged dog, bend your left knee, Look under your left arm and just really stretch here into your left side body. Stepping your left foot up between the hands, lower your right knee, coming into our Anjaneyasana or knee lunge. So we're just, again, settling into our lunge, stretching now into the front of the right hip, opening the quad, palms together, hands then bend behind the head. Again, a core lifts, belly draws in. Lift from the chest as you inhale, exhale, soften. One more time. Inhale, lift, maybe you're bending, you're lifting your elbows up, even more up towards the ceiling. And then lower down. Come into runner stretch. So left side leg is extended. Lift the chest, elongate the spine, and then forward fold. So hinge is really coming in through that left hip flexor. You can see my chest is reaching forward, not rounding, lengthening. Okay, and then take another breath. Inhale. Exhale, soften into this fold even more. And then come forward, bend back into the knee. Left forearm to that front thigh. We're swiveling the right shin off to behind us. Right arm then up and over for our modified side angle. Take another breath, lengthen. Press a little bit into that leg, in the left leg. Wrap your right arm behind the back. Lift and open the right shoulder. Take a breath or two. Maybe a big exhale out the mouth. And then you could slowly make your way back forward onto your mat. Walk your hands inside of your front foot. You can lift the back knee up, step it back, high plank. Once again, forearm plank. So come on down. Okay. Strong shoulders, we're not collapsing. Press the mat away. Now, shift the hips side to side for a total of 10 in a rainbow arcs. So we're almost halfway there. Just keep moving. Strong core. Heating the body up. And then when you're complete, go ahead, lower down. And then this time, let's take the left forearm, turn it in, hold on to your right foot. Stretching into our quad here on the right side. Lift the chest, take a breath. Then you can soften a little bit, but draw your right heel in more. Once again, can you lift the chest? Keep that pressure or tension onto that right foot, and then release. Okay, switching sides to the right, forearm turns in, so you can reach back for your left foot, and then turn to face forward. Draw the heel in towards the glute, but lift the chest. So we have a little back bend here as well. You can soften here, maybe draw the heel in closer. Take one more inhale and lift up. Simultaneously draw that foot in and then release. Hands come down next to the sides of the rib cage. Send your elbows straight back. Curl your toes. Press up and back, down dog. Good, stay for about 3 breaths or so here. Good, press the mat away. So you can really lift and feel like you're lengthening your whole spine. And lifting the sit bones up, melt the heels. So take our steps up to the top of the mat. Half lift, inhale, forward fold, exhale. And rise all the way up to stand. And then bring your hands through heart center, Tadasana. So we stand in Tadasana. Really feel all parts of your feet on the mat. Okay, we're not leaning too forward, not leaning too back. Now walk your feet in towards each other. We're going to come into right into some sequences. So starting with the chair pose. So sit back, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Draw the low belly in. Feels like your tailbone is just cascading downwards rather than back out. Take a breath or two. Okay, and then you can sink it a little lower. Keep breathing. So this is a challenging pose. You should be feeling some sensation here. And just, we ride that wave. Okay, we don't try to resist it. And inhale one more time. Then forward fold, straightening the legs. Half lift. Step it back to your plank. You could be on your knees here or high plank. Shift forward slightly. Bend your elbows straight back. Come down, chaturanga. You can come down halfway, lift up for upward facing, or go all the way down to the belly. Lift just your chest like we've been doing. Chaturanga, thighs are lifted. Press the mat away. Back to down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot up between the hands. Okay, setting up for high lunge. So separate your feet so they're in line with your hips. Rise up, reach. Crescent lunge. Soften the shoulders. Take a breath or two here. You can cactus the arms one time, open. Take an exhale. Inhale and reach. Now hinge forward. Draw your whole low belly in, particularly your right hip. Draw it back. Float up into a warrior three. Okay, point your left toes down. Helps shift the hips, leveling them off. Okay, stay for a breath or two here. Just work with balance. If you're not very stable, then come right back up when you are ready. Okay, and then softly step your left foot back. Set up for warrior two. Heel to arch alignment in the feet. My left toes are kind of turned in at a pretty good angle. And then we reach the arms out. So look over your right hand. Soften the shoulders. Stay for 2 more breaths. Can you bend into your lunge? Knees opening towards the middle, even to the little toes. Turn your right palm up, reverse your warrior. Good, keep your right knee lunging. Now rise on up, extended side angle, full one. Forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over. Now rotate, look up. So there's a bit of a turn and a twist from the torso. And then you could take your left arm, wrap it behind. Half bound, extended side angle. You could stay right here, or that right hand could come down inside that foot on a block, or if you can reach without kind of trying to get there by doing that, bowing forward, we want to stay open and lifted in the upper body. And then rise on up. Good, let's straighten the front leg. Step your left foot up, shorten your stance, setting up for reverse triangle. So right leg is straight. We're just leaning backwards. Okay, and then come forward. We'll come into a half moon. So block here is really handy underneath the right hand. Float the left leg up, point it off to the side. Half moon, we face, turning to the left. Looking down helps the balance, as well as a block underneath the hand. Flex your left foot. As we reach up. Now softly again, step your left foot back. Turn and pivot your toes so they're out in 45 degrees, both sides. Bend your left knee, coming into a skandasana to the left. You're guiding your left knee towards the left toes. You can be here right at a 90 degree with your knee, or you can sink all the way down towards the heels, just making sure that knee is opening. Stretch nice and long through that right leg. And then pivot and turn back to the top of the mat, low lunge. Left hand is down, circle and reach the right arm up. Drop your left knee. Keep circling your right hand to catch the left foot. If you can, if you can't, just bend the left knee as much as you're able. You're still getting a stretch in your left quad. And then release. Reach the right arm up and lift the left leg. You could step your right foot back, coming into a side plank. Lower the left knee for modification. And then go ahead, release. Plank. Chaturanga, lower down as you like. All the way or halfway. Lift for upward facing, or just a simple lift of the chest for cobra. Great back bend, and back to your down dog. Stay for a breath. Big exhale. Float your left leg up, three-legged dog. Step your left foot up between the hands. Setting up for our high lunge, reaching the arms up. Take another breath or two. And again, your left knee could really bend a lot. You could scale it back a little, your choice. Cactus the arms, exhale. Inhale and reach. Hinge forward, draw your left hip back. Stabilizes your balance as you float your right leg up. This time, right foot is pointing, or right toes are pointing down. Keep lifting the belly and your rib cage up. Take another breath. And then softly step your right foot back. We'll set up for warrior two. So we heel toe that left foot over a bit, like you're stepping on a single ski, and then reach your arms out. Bend and guide your left knee. Open it up to the left. It's not bowing in. It's nice and straight. Turn your left palm up and reverse your warrior. Keeping that nice lunge. And then come up. Place your left arm on the thigh to start. Right arm up and over for a full extended side angle. And again, use that left arm to really open your left leg. Right arm, half lines. Inhale as you lift and rotate upwards. So we're really looking up and opening up to the right. Okay, and then we'll release, come on up. And then straighten that left leg. Shorten your stance. Keep your left leg straight as you reverse your triangle. Good, and then come on up. Coming right through to your half moon. So again, your left hand could be on the block as you float your right leg up. This time, instead of pointing our hips down, we open to the right. Again, feel as if someone is lifting you up about a couple of inches. You feel light and lifted. This is all about uplifting. Softly step back. Turn now all the way to the opposite side of your mat. Both toes are turning out, feet are turning out. Bend your right knee this time, guide your right knee off to those toes. Bending the knee 90 degrees, or you can set it all the way back. And completely up to you, your knee. Lots of different variations here, but think of left inner thigh, adductor. And then let's go ahead and turn ourselves to a low lunge, face back to the top of the mat. This time, right hand is down, left arm reaches. This is our low lunge twist. Okay, and then step your left foot back, meets the right, side plank. Again, drop the right knee if you like. Stay for a breath or two. Strong hip lifts on the right side. Exhale, release, plank. Vinyasa, shift forward, chaturanga, lower down. This time I'm going to go all the way down for an option. And then just lift forward, cobra. Keeping pelvis on the mat. Lift back up and back into down dog. Okay, before we move on to our next sequence, stay for 3 breaths. Let yourself kind of settle. Finding a bit of just, call it samastiti, which is balance, centering. Okay, and then we'll take ourselves back to the top of the mat. Half lift, forward fold, rise to stand. Exhale, hands for heart center. Okay, so here's where we're going to add a little bit of a fun transition using first our dancer pose. So it's a one-legged balance. Step on your right leg, bend your left knee. For today, wrap your left hand on top of that left foot. Point your left knee down, reach the right arm up. Find a center line and feel like your whole body is just hugging into that center line. Then start to hinge forward. Hinge, hinge. Keep that hugging of the center line. Focal point is drawing a line. Then, as you reach forward, you can kick back into that hand if you like. Now we're continuing to lower that right hand all the way to the mat or a block. Now, sort of like our half moon, but we're holding on to the left foot. Call this chokasana or sugar cane. Turn to the left. Breathe. Most important part. And again, if you fall out, no big deal, okay? We're going to slowly let go of that foot. Full Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, to step back. Where to? Settle in here. Find a couple breaths. Reverse your warrior. Keep your right knee lunging. Right arm is lifting up and back. Side bend. Come through that extended side angle. Again, your right hand can come all the way down this time. Left arm, let's half bind it again. Behind the back. For those of you who fully bind, you can turn your right arm in. Right shoulder is dipping under that leg, and maybe you connect the hands behind you. I'll turn around, you can see. So I'm really using my right back of my arm to open my right leg. That's the whole point of this exercise, is to really open external rotation of your front leg. Slowly, can you rise on back up? Where to? Turn to that skandasana. So left leg is turning, opening the foot off to the left a bit, knees open to the left, sit back. You might find yourself sitting a little deeper. You could add a variation. You're going to wedge your left arm under that front knee. Right arm can twist up. Another breath. And let's release. Let's come flow into that low lunge twist. Pointing right towards the top of the mat. Circle your right arm up. Step your right foot back. Side plank or a wild thing. Step under the ball of the foot behind you. Bend your right knee. Turn and open. Super uplifting. Chest opener. And then exhale, release. Take your vinyasa if you like, or go right to your down dog, which I'm going to do. So again, you're lowering down, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, back to dog. Look to your hands, step or hop, feet to the hands. Half lift, fold in. Rise to stand. Hands through heart center. So the left leg is on the ground. We're bending the right knee, coming into dancer. Wrap your hand on top of the foot from the outside. Left arm reaches, find that center line. Hug everything in. Slowly hinge forward. We keep kicking that foot into the head. It helps kind of tighten this pose up a bit. And then you can slowly lower left hand down to the block or the mat as you open up to the right this time. So big quad opener, front body opener. Take another breath. You slowly release your right leg. Ardha Chandrasana. Step back. Warrior two. Take a breath, sink it in. Left knee focuses over towards the toes. Reverse the warrior. Left arm up and back, big stretch, inhale. Come forward, extended side angle. Forearm to the thigh or hand all the way down. Block needed if you like. Half bind the right hand, arm behind the back, open. Fully bind if you like. We take your left arm, turn it in, tuck your left shoulder down so you can bend the elbow, kind of sets your arm up in the right position. Think of a lift of your chest back upwards into that extended side angle feel. Okay, stay for a breath or two. We'll work our way back on up. Nice turn. Skandasana or skater to the right leg. Again, guiding that knee open. Add a variation here if you like. You could wedge your right arm down underneath that front knee. Left arm twists, opens. Take a breath. Good. Start to walk your way back to that low lunge twist. Right hand down, left arm reaches. And side plank or wild thing. So left leg steps back. Or you can bend the left knee, ball of the foot comes behind, lift and open. So just breathe and just really sort of let it go. And then one last vinyasa here. Plank, chaturanga, lower down, up dog or cobra. And then come back to child's pose. So on the knees, let yourself just settle back here. So take a couple breaths before we move on. Getting towards the end of our practice. We'll end with just a few stretching poses. Good. And then you can slowly come on up onto your seats, swivel around. Let's extend the legs straight ahead. Reach the arms up. Again, lengthen through the spine as you lead with your sternum. Hinge from your hips, not with your nose. Come down. So that just may mean some of us don't come down as far. Our heads just don't make it that far down, but that's okay. Bend your knees more if you need to as well. Then you can relax your head and your neck. But keep that length through your spine. Take another breath and a big exhale. Soften. Slowly roll on up onto your backs. All the way to the back. Bring your feet up, bending your knees. Figure four. Cross the right ankle on top of the left knee and then lift, either interlace behind your left thigh or in front of the left shin. And once again, we have this outer rotation of the knee going towards the right. You could even use your right elbow to help that. Soften the shoulders back. Breathe. So if you have a little extra time today, this is where I encourage you to take it. If you like to just stay a little longer, linger in these stretchy poses, the benefits are even greater. But go ahead, let's just keep the shape, lower your left foot. Shift your hips over to the right and let your legs fall over to the left. Place the right foot so it meets the ground. Take your right hand like a hook from your index finger to your thumb. Place it in the crook of your hip flexor. Press forward. As you press forward, like a decompression, let your right side melt back towards the mat. Just take a couple of breaths like this. So out west here, we do a lot of compression sports with skiing. Our spine takes it, our hips, everything. Just really feels good to lengthen. And then go ahead, let's just take a full twist to the left. So lengthen the left leg, keep crossing the right leg over and lay back. So your upper torso is kind of nestling equally on your mat, right arm reaches. You can hold your left hand on top of the right leg. Good. Head can turn to the right. So here's the beautiful place where we can turn towards that stillness, letting go of kind of what comes next. Just give yourself this gift of just being in these great stretchy shapes. The more we practice stillness, the better we get at it. And then we'll come on to our backs. And then cross your left ankle over the right, lift, and then either hold on to the right shin or behind that right thigh. Now open your left knee to the left slightly. Use your left elbow a bit. So hug your legs in just as much as you feel that really good stretchy sensation in your left leg. Doesn't have to be a ton, but just enough. Good. And then lower just your right foot. Keep your left ankle crossed. Shift your hips to the left to let your legs fall over to the right. Now your left foot is on the mat. Hook your left hand on that hip flexor. Press it forward. As you press forward, sort of melt that left hip side down. Feel as if you want to lengthen out of your femur, your hip socket, like a half an inch. It just feels amazing. Okay, and then relax that, extend the right leg. Now we'll turn all the way to the right. Keep that left leg crossing over. Good, now nestle both shoulder blades down on the back, and then reach the left arm over. So it's just this great, easy twist. If this is a lot for your back, just undo it, kind of scale back. Give yourself what you need. Again, our practice is our own teacher. The best lessons are learned when we follow what our body, what our mind is telling us. And then we'll come onto the back before we head to our Shavasana, happy baby. So we're just bringing our legs above our hearts. Hold on to the outside edges of the feet. Take the knees down towards the sides. Rock side to side. Good. Feel your low back kind of nestling kind of closer and closer to the mat. That's the muscles along your whole spine are starting to relax, release. And then we'll lower the feet down. If you have 5 minutes to give yourself a Shavasana, you can lay here, taking up space. And again, look towards that stillness, really embrace it. Encourage yourself to be here. Otherwise, you can come on up, seated, bring our hands to heart center. Take a moment and find something you're most grateful for today. And again, please stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like, if you are still there. But from my heart to yours, namaste.